Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I put this video off for a few days, not because I was scared to film it, but I don't know, I actually don't really know. Maybe I was scared to film it. I don't think I'm scared to film it, but perhaps I was, and that's why I put it off for a few days. As you can tell from the title, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Basically, I pulled out of season B for my shows. As you can tell, I'm not really that sad about it, and I know that it's definitely the right decision for me at this point in time. This video, basically the purpose of this video is just to explain a little bit about the events leading up to me making this decision, including the past few years, honestly, and why I made the decision, and just to answer a few questions that I know that people will have in regards to me pulling out of the show, why I did it, and everything else surrounding that. So I have parked myself here with a blanket because if you guys have watched my videos before, you'll know it's freezing cold in this house that I currently live in. So I'm here in a blanket, I'm gonna get comfortable, and I'm just gonna get started. All right, so don't mind me here. I've just grabbed my food and set it in my lap so that I can have a chew in between little sections of me filming. Basically, I have absolutely no plan as to how I'm going to structure this video, so I figured I would just click record and wing it. I also got two of my friends, Taylor and Dale, to send me a heap of questions that they would ask if they didn't know more about the situation. Just to sort of help me answer questions that you guys might have if you're watching the video or have been watching my YouTube series. First off, I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a backstory about my competitive history so far, how many shows I've done and when, and previous off seasons and previous preps and etc. So let's roll all the way back to 2015. I competed in my first show in May of 2015. Following that, I took some time off because I had no money. And this was after my very first show, so I guess my passion hadn't really set off for the industry and for the sport and whatnot. So after this, it was a little bit easier to take time off, but I knew that I wanted to do it again. So I actually started a prep, would have been perhaps September, October the same year. So I didn't really have a lot of time off, but yeah, September, October the same year, for the following March, where I did my second competition. Now, that's been 4 years now. And since my very first show in 2015, I have done 15 shows in total. The longest period of time that I've had off in between competitions was 9 months. And the first part of that 9 months was a reverse diet out of the last show. And the last part of that 9 months was a prep. Now, so I probably only got really maybe 3 months of an actual break off season. And even then, all of my off seasons have been completely structured in nature. So 2015, did my first show. Following March, did another show. A few months later, in May, I turned ICN Pro. I then competed in October that year in Bali, did my first ICN Pro show. Following that, I decided that I would like to take some time off and move to the IFBB. I then competed the following July, and that's one of my biggest gaps in between competitions. And then following that, I did October VIX and Nationals. The following year, I didn't compete in season A. I went to Arnold's and I watched and it ignited the fire. And I prepped for July again in 2018. So all the way up to 2018 now. And I did the all-female, Bendigo and the all-female. And that is the most conditioned I have ever come in on stage. It's the best prep that I have ever had, mentally and physically. That prep was quote unquote easy. because I was mentally in it, so far in it mentally, that even when it was tough, it wasn't that hard. I just got it done. Everything went really well that prep. My body responded really well. I came down, it was the best that I have ever looked. After that, I then did July, August, and October. 3 months later, I did the VIX and the Nationals. And then that was in October. And then the following March, I did the Arnold's this year. Then I decided that I wanted to take a break, and I ended up changing coaches again and decided to prep for season B, which brings us to now. I'm six weeks out, not 6 weeks out anymore, but I was 6 weeks out from the Victorian State Show. And now I've decided to pull the pin completely and just not compete. And again, like I said, I'm really, really happy with this decision. Like I never thought that I would be so content pulling out of a show. I've done 15 and I have never once pulled out of a prep after I have committed to it. I have always picked a show, seen the prep out, gotten on stage. And that went really well for me up until July last year. The last 5 shows that I've done, which span from October last year to March this year. I know this is going to be really confusing, guys, but I need to get this out. I really struggled. I really struggled with those shows, and it shows in my physique. If you compare how I looked July last year, July 2018, compared to the 5 shows following that, leading up to this point, you can see that my body is very stressed. Now, July last year, my prep coach was Asha Coulthard, and I had an amazing prep with Asha. She was fantastic, and that was up to the July point. Following that, I actually moved coaches to someone else, and and the reason for that was majority for political reasons. I wanted a coach that was an IFBB prep coach, and I wanted to have someone who had a foot in the door in the pro league who could help me get to where they were, because that's where I want to be. I want to be an IFBB pro. So I did that, and those 5 shows were the biggest struggle of my entire life. I mean, my body fought very hard to get into condition. I was doing 2 hours plus cardio a day on the stepper or the Stairmaster. And you know what, I'm pretty hardcore. Like for me, I was like, yep, cool, I'm gonna do it. If that's what I have to do, then I'll do that. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be necessary to do 2 hours of stairs to get into stage condition. I mean, look, everyone's different and everyone's prep methods are going to be totally different. But for my body personally, I had never ever had to do so much cardio to get into condition. So my body was fighting me something shocking. And like I said, you can see it in my physique. You can see in, especially Arnold's, the most recent show, that my body was like screaming at me to stop. It had enough. I needed a break. Getting to the stage for those shows was, every day was a challenge, and every day I was like, I don't know whether I want to keep working like this. Like if I have to work this hard to get into condition, I don't think I can prep again. And that's huge for me because this sport is my passion. I love this sport. I obviously am a coach myself. I love posing my posing clients, and everything about this sport is I'm made for this sport. And I've said this a few vlogs ago, I'm totally meant for this sport. I'm made for it. But for me to say, I don't know whether I can keep doing this, it was a huge deal. So after Arnold's, I ended up actually switching coaches again back to someone local for a number of reasons. I wanted to try something different. I wanted to learn some more from another coach for the benefit of my own clients. This coach had fantastic results with bikini models in Australia. This coach is someone that I'd seen around at a lot of competitions. and spoken to personally, and I just thought he was a very knowledgeable person that I would love to learn from. On top of that, he previously was a judge, and also being local. I'm in Colac and he's in Melbourne. It's a 2-hour drive to Melbourne, and that coach is Troy Thornton, and he has been nothing but amazing as a coach. I have no words, guys. I have absolutely no words to describe to you how incredible of a coach Troy is, in every aspect. So anyway, so I changed coaches and I'd said I want to take this 12 months off, perhaps do Arnold's next year. Yep, not a problem. My body started responding really well to the off-season diet and the training, and I was seeing some amazing results in terms of glute growth with the high volume training that we've been doing. And my metabolism sort of kick-started a bit, and we were like, maybe we could do a prep. Maybe it won't be so hard to get into condition. Like, you're already kind of like leaning out, like everything's looking really good, you're eating lots of food. Let's do it. Pro card baby, pro card. And that's what the plan was. And I even had my engagement party towards the start of this prep, and we depleted into that, and I actually lost weight afterwards, obviously alcohol and whatnot, but I lost weight and maintained that. So I ended up having a really successful week leading up to the engagement party, and my body responded really well to that, and it seemed like cool. That didn't affect prep in the grand scheme of things at all. Body was going really well, and then we sort of hit a bit of a wall, and it was like, why is my body not quite responding? I feel very tired, going a little bit harder than what we really should have had to at this point in time. Looking fantastic, by the way. And I just want to make this very clear. My body physically was well on its way to being ready for these shows at the end of the year. Well on its way. So I'm going to pop some photos up here of me 2 weeks ago, 8 weeks out from the VIX show, and how I was looking at that point in time. And I mean, we were like, sweet, I'm going to totally be ready. But for the last 4 weeks, I have been mentally struggling very, very much. I mean, to the point where I was getting very emotional and really struggling to get to the gym, struggling to train, struggling to finish my workouts, struggling to get myself to the gym for cardio, and not knowing why I was so upset and emotional all the time. And there was literally no explanation, no logical explanation for it at all. And I was like, nah, prep feels like this is hard. This is supposed to be hard. This is how it is. Push through, everything will be fine. And I mean, there is only so much you can do on a physical level in terms of training, like doing your training, doing your cardio, and following your nutrition plan that will get you success. Your head, your mindset has to be 100% on board just as much as those other 3 factors in order to get you to the stage in top condition. Now, I could have gotten to the stage and looked totally like I fit there, but I would personally know that I wasn't 100% the best that I could have been on stage at that time because my mind wasn't there. If you do everything right with your training, nutrition, cardio, but your head isn't there, your body's going to respond to that. And I mean, I can't explain exactly how I feel, and this video is going to be so long, but I can't explain exactly how I feel, except that I know I wasn't ready to see this prep out, and I should have taken the time off for my mental state. So that's what I decided to do. I spoke to Troy 2 days ago, 2 days before filming this video, and I said to him, I don't think I can continue on like this for 8 weeks. I am getting so emotional and upset with the pressure, and my body's not responding, and I just don't think, my body's not responding because of my mind and because of my stress. Even though I looked really good, I just don't think I can do this for another 8 weeks because I'm mentally struggling. I'm not enjoying training. I'm really struggling with food. I was very food focused for a while, And I just decided to pull the pin because I had wanted an off season and I got engaged in March and I just wanted to enjoy life for a little bit and maintain where I am now with my body fat is fully maintainable at the 6 weeks out mark. And so I just want to maintain what we've achieved thus far and continue to build on my physique for the future moving forward, because I'm definitely competing again. That was still all over the place, and I'm going to apologize in advance for you guys watching this video because, like I said, there was no structure, but I just needed to talk and get it out. I'm going to stop there with the rambling and I'm going to move on to the questions that Taylor and Dale had written out for me, and I'm just going to answer those and try and be short and sharp to give a bit of an answer to those, to give some more insight into the situation, but I hope that that rambling made some kind of sense and helped a little bit. So, all right, on to the questions. So the first one here, am I happy with my decision and do I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders? So as I said before, yes, 100% happy with my decision. After I made it and after I spoke to Troy about it and told him, because that was one of my biggest worries, was how he would feel about it. After I told him we made the decision, 100% pulling out, done. Different person. Different person. I was, like I said to you guys, this is not to make people feel sorry for me at all. I am perfectly healthy, happy, life is amazing, nothing's going on that, you know, I'm happy, I'm really happy. But I would cry. So 2 days ago, I sat in the car, I tried to get into the gym, and I sat in the car and I cried for no reason. And I wasn't even sobbing, like the tears were just streaming down my face. And that's the moments and feelings that I have been getting for the last few weeks, or last 4 weeks, probably last month. And as soon as we made the decision, it was like, oh, I feel so much relief. I feel so much better, so much better. So yes, massive weight lifted off my shoulders, in short. What made me pull out, I sort of already covered that. My mental state just really wasn't where it needed to be. And therefore I made the right decision for me and decided it's time to take some time off from being hardcore all the time. What are my plans moving forward? So right now, oh, and is there another show in mind? Right now, there is no show in mind. Absolutely none. And this is the first time that I've ever said I'm going to take an off season, which I've said so many times and then not done. And I have not set a show or a date. I think roughly, vaguely, maybe the end of next year, maybe season B next year. But I'm not setting anything in stone. I'm just going to chill and train and enjoy it and work on my business. And yeah, so my plans moving forward are obviously to reverse diet out of this prep, increase calories up nice and high, maintain the level of body fat that I have, and continue to build on my weaknesses. I've made quite a lot of glute progress, but there's still, I think, some glute max development that could happen, and just obviously density. And I still need to keep working on my shoulders a little bit, which have come up a lot and they're actually looking fantastic. But I just want to bring up my front delt a little bit and obviously increase calories so I can enjoy all the foods. What are you focusing on in your off season in regards to my physique? Just covered that. What was the breaking point and when did you know Nationals 2019 wasn't right for you? So like I said, I had this moment in my car in the gym 2 days ago. I sat and cried for 40 minutes. I drove home because I couldn't get out of the car. I cried all the way home. I got home. I meditated to try and relieve the feeling of overwhelm. And I cried some more. And then Dylan came home and then I cried again. And that was it. I said, I need to talk to Troy. I need to pull out of this show. I can't do this for another 8 weeks. That was my breaking point. And yeah, that's how I knew that Nationals wasn't going to be for me this year. Does not competing at this comp give you anxiety? Quite the contrary. Competing in this comp was giving me anxiety planning to compete in the comp was giving me anxiety because of the pressure I put on myself. So no, I feel at peace. I think it's going to be an amazing stacked lineup, and whoever takes the pro card this year is going to be 100% deserving and beautiful and a beautiful representation of the sport. No. And you know what? Let's be honest. I am a very competitive person. When this person wins their pro card, I'm going to be like, God damn it, that could have been me. 100% going to think that. I'm going to be annoyed that it wasn't me. But I made this decision for me, and I know it's the right one, and I'm going to be happy for that person no matter what. Do you think pulling out of this prep will set you up better next time around? Yep, that's the goal. That's actually well, not the main purpose. The main purpose is actually for mental health reasons. But in terms of my next prep, 100%. Like, that's taking time off now, getting a sense of normality back, and being able to enjoy a meal with friends, or go out for coffee and have a cake because I feel like it, or go out for dinner, or bring back Saturday night pizza night with Dill on the couch watching Netflix, is going to, I just want to enjoy my normal life for a little bit longer than a few months, and get my head back in the game in terms of enjoying training, get my head back in the game in terms of refocusing my goals, knowing exactly what I'm wanting, and knowing that that's what I want to knuckle down for. I don't think I'm really going to know when I'm ready. Like, there's not going to be like a turning point or a sign that I'm ready. It's just going to be me knowing within myself that I'm ready to go again. And until that point, I'm just going to chill. Chill and keep working on my weaknesses. Was your body struggling to be in this prep? Yes and no. My body looked fantastic. Like I said, I was well on track and ahead. I was in a diet break for this prep, so everything was looking fantastic. So no, not struggling, but yes, struggling because of the mental barriers that I was putting up. All these walls going, a bit of I can't do this mentally. I'm so tired. My body's feeding off that stress that I was feeling. Like, that's, so yes, it was struggling because of my mental state. But, and you know what? There was a little bit of a resistance from my body in terms of my metabolism needs sort of fixing. It's not like crazy slow. It's pretty good, let's be honest. But my previous preps, like I said, the end of last year and up to Arnold's this year, cooked my metabolism. Like, I was eating not a lot of food and doing a hell of a lot of cardio. Do people around me support my decision? 100% yes. Especially those really close to me. So Dill especially, with seeing how much I was struggling this prep, and how emotional and upset that I have been. So yeah, everyone 100% supports my decision. And further to that, Troy, what does your coach think? Troy knows that I'm not a lazy mother. I shouldn't say that on this channel. Troy knows that I am not lazy. I have pushed through some preps where I've been in a pretty rough place. And for me to say I need to pull out of this prep, he knows that I really do need to pull out of this prep. I'm not being lazy or feeling tired. I genuinely need to pull out of this prep. He basically said I have nothing to prove, and if my head isn't in it, I need to be all in or not at all, basically. Yeah, that's it. Need to be all in or not at all, and if you're not, you're not, and that's okay, because I'm not a robot. Did you lose your passion for the sport? Not at all. Not at all. I lost my sense of enjoyment, I guess, in everything that I was doing day to day in regards to my prep. So my training and my nutrition and my cardio. Generally, I love prep, and I just wasn't getting that feeling this time again. But passion for the sport? Hell no. I love this sport so much. I mean, I have an Olympia watch slumber party that is like being planned at the moment because I love this sport so much that I would sit up till stupid o'clock to be able to watch the bikini pros on stage. I am going to a show this weekend to Bendigo. I'm going to go to the Vic show and the State show and watch. I love this sport so much, you guys, you have no idea. And obviously I have my my clients that I can live vicariously through, which is fantastic, and a few friends who are prepping as well. But no, definitely I haven't lost my passion for sport. How did you know it was time to pull out of prep and not to push through, and how can other girls know when to pull out? So as I touched on briefly before, some people want to pull out of prep because they're lazy as hell. If you just can't be bothered, prep's not for you. It's really not at all for you. I know that I'm just mentally fatigued from doing back to back to back to back shows, because I know myself very well after doing 15 shows. And if I could push through 15 shows and not pull out and then feel like I want to for this one, I know that I don't want to pull out. But a lot of girls will pull out because they're lazy. And this is really hard to differentiate. It's something that as a coach I see in girls, and I know when it's happening, I can see it. For me, to be crying in my car and not being able to get into the gym because I lost my sense of enjoyment for training and I just mentally didn't want to push through, that was my breaking point. I think it's really important to, if you're doing a prep and you're considering pulling out, I think it's really important that you sit down and have a really good, hard think to yourself about whether, ask yourself this: am I pulling out because I think the work is a little bit too hard? Or am I pulling out because my mental health is going to suffer if I continue to do this prep? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. If the answer is, no, I'm just a bit tired and can't be stuffed, don't pull out of prep, you are being a sook. If the answer is, I genuinely think my mental health is going to suffer if I continue to do this prep, then pull out, 100%. If one of you out there is really struggling with this and you're considering pulling out of prep and you're not sure whether it's the right decision to make, please get in contact with me. I'm more than happy to, even if you're someone else's client, I don't care. I want you to message me, we'll jump on a call and I will have a chat to you about where you're at with everything, and I can talk you through whether you just need a bit of a pep talk or whether you just need someone to confide in. I'm happy to be that person, okay? So if you're feeling like this, please contact me. I'd love to talk to you. How long have I been feeling this way? Probably the last 4 weeks. And I thought it was prep feels. But for 4 weeks to go by and to have not really many good days, yeah, it's time to pull the pin. I think that I should just about wrap this up. I think I'm gonna have about 40 minutes of footage now to cut down, and I think that's probably more than enough of me dribbling shit to the camera. Basically, I'm pulling out because I know that I can't push through this prep and get to the stage and say that I am 100% happy with how I went about everything. I still stuck to my training, nutrition, and my cardio. I did everything I needed to do, but mentally, not in it, guys. Just not my time. It's really not my time. So I am definitely going to be doing a reverse diet vlog series for you guys. At the moment, I'm working with Troy to increase my calories. And actually, you know what? I just want to reiterate again on Troy that this is nothing to do with the way that he prepped me. I have been nothing but happy with his process and the way that prep has gone, and his nutrition and diet and the train, everything has been amazing. This has nothing to do with that. This is me being fatigued from doing so many back-to-back shows and really struggling and pushing my body way too hard in the last 5 shows that I've done. So Troy's amazing. Troy, if you're watching this, I'm just, pumping up your tires. But anyway, I'm definitely doing a reverse diet series, guys. I want to continue to keep these vlogs up and doing 2 to 3 a week because I've really enjoyed it, honestly. And I think that it'd be really cool to chat to you guys about my reverse diet process and show you a bit more of my workouts and my day-to-day life and back to a little bit of normality. And I think this prep series I actually named Breaking Barriers, and I never really spoke about it, but I felt that it was something that I needed to push through. And at the time, obviously I was struggling when I named it. So I was thinking, I really need to push through this. This is breaking through a barrier. But funny enough, I think that me breaking through a barrier is me deciding to, knowing that it was the right time to pull the pin. So I'm going to continue on with this Breaking Barriers series. I'm going to keep these videos, reverse diet videos, coming through as Breaking Barriers because I think that it is very just appropriately named. So reverse diet videos, training, nutrition, I'm hoping to switch to If It Fits Your Macros. Troy, I have to talk to you about this. I'm going to be enjoying life a little bit more, going and doing some normal things, wedding prep, all of this. So I am really excited to share a little bit more of my life with you guys. I'm excited to show you my process for my reverse diet as calories increase and whatnot. And I'm just excited to live life a little. And oh my God, maybe some food challenges, because I tell you what, I have been wanting to do food challenges for so long and haven't done them. So maybe that can come up too. Anyways, I'm rambling again, of course. So I'm gonna go here and end out the video. I hope that this cleared up some of the questions that you guys might have. If you have any more, please drop them in the description below. I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm really excited to be heading into this off season and not having any set shows in mind, but knowing that I love this industry, I'm gonna continue to prep, coach girls and pose and be around competitions, and when the time is right, I'm going to return and come for this damn pro card. Yeah, I'm going to come for this pro card, but it's not going to be this year. May not even be next year. Could be next year. We'll see. I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, because yeah, this is a massive load off my chest to just talk about this. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe if you want to watch my reverse diet journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.